Well, hey there. This is Coach Kev with Coachable. Episode today, we're going to go over the high frequency, potentially the ultimate high frequency training program. Now, for those of you who are like, well, I don't train that often, I'm not interested in this, hold the phone just a second. And here's why. For most people, they tend to train one way. Like they either go pretty heavy, light on the repetitions, but a lot of weight. Or on the flip side, they do a little bit more repetitions, let's say 15 to 20, but they do a lot less weight. So the problem there is that we don't have necessarily a balance. So what I want to propose is that a higher frequency program gives you basically two things. It gives you options, right? So you can, if you're not ready to go heavy and you didn't have a good night's sleep, you can go lighter. And in addition, it gives you, for those people who are like, I just need to do something, right? They do it for the mental, the side effect of working out. So what I'm going to show you is kind of, and I have my handy dandy little whiteboard for those listening on the podcast. You're going to see this on Instagram with some supporting materials as well. So, but what I want to just go over is how we break it down. For the simplest way to look at it, what we're going to do is split things up into push, pull, and legs. So really simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down three ways, and we're just going to go push, pull, and legs. Okay. So I have our handy dandy. Hope you can read that. Awesome. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to break it down, and we're going to have kind of a heavy day and then a light day. And then we're going to break down those workouts, right, and get exercises that fit the category best of a heavy and a light day. Now, the reason for this is because some exercises they're better to go heavier, right? So like, for instance, a heavier pull, if you can think of an example, we're going to use a chin-up, right? So we're going to do a heavy pull, so chin-ups, okay, on our heavy day. Now, opposite of that, on our pull day, what's going to be a lighter version? Probably a pull down, okay? And then what else can be heavy on a pull day is, let's call it a dumbbell or a barbell row, okay? So that kind of splits that up. Now we have those two. Also, we're going to split it up, and on your pull day, you can do either a TRX row or a ring row or even a cable row. So you can go cable or body weight row. Okay, and that's something that you can do on a lighter pull day. Now, let's break up our push. Let's break up our legs. And don't forget, we do have to add some abs in here. Okay, so on our push day, our heavy day, what should we do? I think the simplest way here is to go with some sort of bench press. Okay, and to balance this out very well, what we're going to add is a single arm overhead press. I like those for a heavier exercise. You can use a landmine with a barbell attached in a corner of a squat rack, or with a landmine attachment, or you can use dumbbells, or you can use kettlebells, all that kind of stuff. Then on our light day, what should we do on our push? A couple options here. We can go, let's say, push-ups, okay? And then on our lighter day for our overhead press, we can do something called Arnold's, which is basically a twist and press. So it hits the deltoids a little bit more three-dimensionally. So that's what we could do on those days. Now, let's go into legs real quick. This is where things are also fun and simple. On our heavy day, we can do heavy deads. Okay, we could do trap, we could do sumo, we could do RDLs, lots of options there. And then we could do something that's also a little bit heavy, but we can't go as heavy. So we could do Zercher. Okay, Zerchers, our limitation is how much we can hold in our arms. So doing heavy deads and Zerchers on the same day is a good way to challenge and get a lot of overload there. Now, on a lighter day, we can do what's called a single leg RDL, where you're on one leg, okay? And in addition, we can do what's known as a goblet squat. So we still have roughly the same patterns, right? We have a squat and a deadlift pattern. And now we have basically 6 days that we can break up any way we want. We can also add some other fun exercises in each day. But now over the course of, let's say you want to work out for 6 days in a row, but you only have 30 minutes a day, you have your workouts right now. Can you play with the sets and reps? Absolutely. But now you have a heavy day. So what our heavy day looks like here at Structure, anywhere between 4 and 5 sets of, let's say, 5 to 10 reps. Okay, and then our lighter exercises or lighter days are going to be anywhere between 10 and 20 reps. Okay, with 3 sets. So those are our categories, and we'll break that down for you who are listening. We're going to break that down on Instagram, and you'll see those that delineation. Now, where do abs come in? This is an important topic to add because for a lot of people, they're like, well, what about core? And a frequent question is my core activated every day? Yes. While you're working out, your core is going to be activated. However, nothing beats a good old-fashioned focused core routine. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with themes here as well. And you can add them however way you want. But we're just going to go with our big 3. So we're going to go with planks, chops, and there's multiple versions out of here, and then carries. Okay. So the reason that all 3 of these are different and unique, carries allows us to give a functional transfer. We'll start there. So you can carry them and like a farmer's carry. So 2 hands, one on each side. You can carry it a single arm carry, like a suitcase carry. You can carry in a rack position here, or you can carry in like a waiter's position. You can also go 1 and 1. There's a lot of ways that you can do that. So they teach you a little bit more functionality. And chops, a lot of functionality there as well for anyone who is in a rotational athlete. Chops are essential. So you can do half kneeling, you can do standing, you can do chopping down, you can do chopping across, chopping up. Lots of ways to do chops there. Okay, you can also add use either modality, cables or bands. In addition, you can break it down into medicine ball work as well. So it just depends on what you have at your disposal. Last but certainly not least, I'm going to go with 3 different versions of planks, starting with one that nobody really thinks of, glute bridges. We can quantify those as a type of a plank. Some people call it a posterior plank. And then a forward plank, certainly when you're on your forearms. And then last but certainly not least, side planks. People don't like those as much because those tend to be harder. You have to work both sides. It takes a little bit longer. Now, any version you want to add out of there is fine. Just add it in. You want to do side plank with the rear fly. You want to do forward plank with a lat pull down. Whatever floats your boat. But the most important thing is that if you can thematically add these three series of core exercises to every workout, I think you're going to enjoy the variety, and you're going to mentally enjoy that variety. And then the second thing you could do if you want to, like let's say you want to do planks only on push days, chops on pull days, and then carries on leg days, you can also break it down and give yourself four. Let's go one version of plank, chop, and carry in every workout. So let's say on your push day you do bench press and then overhead press, and then one version of a forward plank, one version of a standing cable chop, and then one version of a carry. Right. So now you have even more fun. So you have certainly your 2 upper body exercises, but you also can put together a core circuit to finish off your workout. So you can get a little bit more focused on your core. This would be an example. That would be an example of something more focused on the core. But yeah, so that's an example, and I'm apologize. That's probably backwards. Yep, that's backwards. So it looks like we're going to be going with the gram here. But that's how that works, is we just break it down into themes. So we look at push-pull legs, heavy versus light. You can also switch them, and if you want to add one heavy and then one light every day, it just depends on what your training experience looks like. So for me personally, I started working out when I was 12. So at 36, I've been in a weight room for the majority of every year for about 24 years. So something that's going to really change up the way that my muscles react is going to a higher frequency and or a higher on one end of a spectrum. So a little bit higher end of intensity, but safely. Not necessarily a lot of volume, meaning not as many sets and reps. So, and that's just me. I know myself, I tend to undersleep during the week, get a little bit more sleep on the weekend. Now, what about you? If you travel during the week and then you tend to be the opposite, let's say you sleep a lot during the week and then you're a little bit of a party animal / weekend warrior, that might be different for you. So you might want to work out harder during the week and then do things a little bit lighter on the weekend. It just depends on, again, how many years you've been training. in addition to what your lifestyle is like, because you can't, as the expression is, outkick the coverage. So thanks for tuning in. I hope this helps. I really wanted to deep dive, kind of on the outskirts of a much bigger dive into how to make training programs, but kind of just a rough guide of looking at a higher frequency training program and what themes that you can use on those days. So you have somebody that necessarily isn't ready to go heavy, and you're a personal trainer, you want to get somebody to go a little bit like push themselves, but they're not able to go heavy yet because they don't know how to. Then you can keep just the theme, right? You can do vertical push versus horizontal push. Your pull, you can do vertical pull versus horizontal pull, and then legs, you can do deadlifts and then squats, and then just vice versa, and just give 3 to 4 variations within one workout. And they would be they'd probably like that program because you'd be able to keep their mind like what's next. The biggest thing I would add, however, is that you need to track this. For a lot of folks, if you're not tracking from workout to workout, there might be a recipe for disaster. I can't remember my last workout, so I don't expect you to remember yours and the weights that you lifted. So make sure that you track it. It sounds so like duh, but no, make sure you track it. So whether you use a steno pad, whether you use notes on your phone, whatever you use, just make sure you track it. Okay. So, and then as always, any questions, please let me know. This is one of my favorite topics, creating programs, troubleshooting around programs, making body part splits. Really, really do enjoy it. So please send me your notes. Any questions, let me know. And otherwise, have a great day. That's it for episode 2 of Coachable.